Imagine yourself on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. You and your friends were sitting on a couch chatting on who are your favorite movie actors or film directors. A few of you may say that your favorite director is Zhang Yimou, and some other may say it's Jia Zhangke. Without any doubt, both of them are great directors in China and won multiple prizes based on the film they produce. Short after a great discussion, one of your friends came up with this great idea of going to a movie, and suddenly everyone got so excited. Current day movie theaters were so enjoyable with those comfortable chairs, huge screens, amazing sound effects, and some movies were even displayed in 3Ds. With all these features, it is just impossible to say no to your friends for a movie night. Then you and your friends would start discussing on which movie to watch. This is when conflict may arise, when there are so many new release movies to choose at. You just can't decide on which one to watch first. But wait, do you really think you have the right to choose on which movie you wanted to watch? Put in one perspective, you suddenly get to choose the film to watch from the film list displayed on the theater webpage. You just don't know all the other great films that were produced and banned right away before meeting the audience. I've categorized those films into 4 categories, and will introduce some of the films to you short after. In the People's Republic of China, homosexuality was not decriminalized until 1997 and was not declassified as a mental disorder until 2001. In the notice concerning reaffirming film examination standard issued in 2008, one of the regulations states that films containing homosexual scenes shall be edited. Nonetheless, there are so many great films on homosexuality produced in the Greater China region. Farewell, My Concubine is a 1993 Chinese film directed by Chen Kaige. The film opens in the period of the Beiyang government in 1924 and ends in the period of the authoritarian regime of the Communist Party of China in 1977. The two protagonists, Cheng Dieyi and Duan Xiaolou, grew up together in a school of Beijing opera, and both become very popular. Cheng Dieyi falls in love with Duan Xiaolou and wants to stay with him and sing with him for a lifetime. However, the heterosexual Duan Xiaolou does not realize Cheng Dieyi's true feeling toward him. The scene is during the Cultural Revolution in 1966. The Beijing opera troupe is caught by the Red Guards and humiliated in public. Under the public pressure, Duan Xiaolou confesses that Cheng Dieyi sings for the Japanese, the nationalist, and the capitalist, and hinted that he might have had slept with a man. This scene implies that same-sex relationship is absolutely unacceptable at the time. This film is banned not only because of the homosexuality, but also the scenes of violence and suicide took place during the Cultural Revolution. Happy Together is a 1997 Hong Kong film directed by Wang Jiawei. In this film, although Li Yaohui loves He Baorong deeply, He Baorong's volatile temper and playboy lifestyle are very destructive in the relationship. In this scene, Li Yaohui tries to call his father, but his father hangs up on him. Although the plot is about he calling to apologize to his father for stealing money, it seems to drop a hint that the traditional father still cannot accept the fact that his son is homosexual. Blue Gate Crossing is a 2002 Taiwanese film directed by Yi Zhiyan that tells the story of a same-sex attracted schoolgirl. What she writes on the wall is, "I am a girl, I like boys." This is how she tries to brainwash herself. Meng Kerou confesses to Zhang Shihao that she likes a girl. She naively thinks that a kiss from a boy might change her sexual orientation. At the end of the film, Zhang Shihao says to Meng Kerou, if one day, maybe 1 year later, maybe 3 years later, if you start to like boys, you have to tell me first. It is intriguing to see how China and Taiwan both adhere to the Confucian paradigm, but homosexuality is much more acceptable in Taiwan than in China. In Taiwan, on May 24, 2017, the Constitutional Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage, which means that Taiwan is set to become the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. On the contrary, it's very unlikely to happen in China. It is fair to argue that the strict film censorship in China to some extent has made the legalization of same-sex marriage impossible. The following part is banned films which related to sensitive political events. The general reason of film being banned is that they were contrary to what SARFT advocated and tried to impress the audience. The first film is Devil on the Doorstep. This film's background is Hebei province in 1945, where it was under Japanese control for many years. The main character Ma Da-san was forced to take a Japanese soldier and his translator in and waited for the person who asked Ma to take care of them come back. Here, Hanya was trying to enrage Ma that Ma could kill him for Bushido spirit, that is, to sacrifice his life to the emperor. But his translator revised his words because of fear of death. In the meantime, when Japanese army marched into the village, there is a scene showing that Japanese tried to amuse children. Also, there were folk artisans performing. The actor's line was, "Welcome the Japanese to the neighborhood. We have same roots and traditions. We love the Imperial Army like family." At the very beginning of the film, Hanya tried to enrage Ma. However, when he realized that he would be killed soon, tears ran down his face, and Hanya asked his translator to teach him some Chinese to beg for mercy. When Hanya returned to Japanese army, he confessed it to the superior that he was looked after by Chinese. He was badly beaten up by the superior because he did not commit suicide when he was caught by Chinese, because he betrayed the spirit of being a warrior. In the end of the film, Ma was pronounced sentence of death. The reason why Devil on the Doorstep was banned is that this film revealed different perspectives in ordinary anti-Japanese war film, which passes censorship. The second film is The Sent Down Girl. The background of this story is that during Cultural Revolution, because of the pulse of Gaokao, CCP decided to send educated youth to remote areas in order to prevent them from causing social turmoil. Xiu Xiu was a girl from Chengdu, and she was forced to leave Chengdu to grassland. A man brought Xiu Xiu the news that a lot of educated youths already came back to their home. He also lied to Xiu Xiu that he has the ability to help her return to Chengdu, but was the price of Xiu Xiu's body. Xiu Xiu believed in him, and she had sex with this man. After that, many malicious men came to Xiu Xiu's camp and lied to Xiu Xiu that they could help her get back to Chengdu. Xiu Xiu believed them all. Even when Xiu Xiu went to the hospital to induce abortion, there was a guy limped on a stick into the operation room. In the end, Xiu Xiu braided her hair as she did not meet those men and ended her life. The leading actor Sun promised to the leading actress Jing Qiu that he will wait for her his whole life. They took photos together as a souvenir, but it became the only photo between them since Sun died later because of leukemia. The main difference between these two films is that The Sent Down Girl stressed how Cultural Revolution destroyed women-educated youth, like Xiu Xiu, while Under the Hawthorn Tree emphasized innocent and pure love during that time period. So although the ending of the later film is not perfect, that Sun died because of disease, the image of beautiful love still impressed the audience. While The Sent Down Girl, the audience impression would be helplessness and inability of changing fates of girl like Xiu Xiu. The following part is about the thriller film in China. In fact, there are not any indie thriller film exist ever in China. What we talk about the thriller film exists in China are just so-called thriller and suspense films. Intermittent content such as murder, violence, or monsters are banned in China according to SARFT. Why we heard some Chinese thriller films? The fundamental reason is that the leading actor have a bad conscience or have a mental issue, while the character wears some horrible makeup and clothing, backgrounded with some hero background music, which shaping the Chinese thriller film. The banned thriller movie in China I want to talk about is The Bride. The movie actually exists the ghost because of the ghost marriage. The protagonist Liu Chenghao picked up a red pocket money in the street from the ghost marriage. After that, he always dreamed of an old mansion and strange things happened around him. Also, a high school student, Yin Yin, also see the non-existent things or the dying things. And she always disturbed by the non-existent things and feels scared. After consulting, the protagonist Liu get to know that he was followed by a ghost for a long time. The truth is that his fiancée was a ghost, because during his previous existence, he also picked up the red pocket money in the street. So he was forced to marry a girl who committed suicide because of disfigurement. His father forced the Cheng Hao to marry her, a ghost who is his fiancée at present. This movie shows that there did exist a ghost to cause those strange things. Because of the scared scenes and background sound, the film couldn't be broadcast in China. Comparing to the Chinese typical thriller film, The House That Never Dies, the mansion connects two spaces event, after Qing dynasty and the present. At present, the heroine Xu Ruoqing found something strange in the mansion after moving in. She met the strange surviving servant from the Qing dynasty, Uncle Gen, and saw a little girl in red dress in the mansion on the first day. Back to the past, the third son of the family want to marry the prostitute, Lü Dieyu. However, she was married to the second son of the family. Lu curled herself in the basement while wearing her red wedding dress. The daughter of Lu has a granddaughter who is Xu Ruoqing nowadays. Therefore, there's nothing thriller in the movie. The little girl in red dress is the daughter of Xu's husband and his ex-wife. The reason for Xu has illusion is that Uncle Gen changed Xu's medicine. Uncle Gen want to occupy the mansion. Those two movies both contain the previous existence and the ghost marriage. The film The House That Never Dies shows that the problem was related to the medicine, which contains LSD, but the film The Bride was banned due to the non-existence. There cannot be any supernatural after founding of the state. Lust Caution is the most representative erotic film which initiated the topic in China when it's shown in the theater. It adapted from Eileen Chen's novel with the same name. The heroine Jia Zhi was a student who decided to exert herself to CCP. Because of her attractive beauty, Superior assigned her to a special target. She needed to seduce Mr. Yi, who was the spy chief of Wang Jingwei's government. For better approaching Mr. Yi, Jia Zhi used a fake identity, who named Mrs. Ma, whereby sneaked into the upper class. Through deep trials, finally Jia Zhi was successfully won Mr. Yi's trust. At the last moment, Jia Zhi moved by Mr. Yi's genuine passion and let him go. As a result, Jia Zhi and her partners all sacrificed, executed by shooting. Those people who watched the edited version cannot understand Jia Zhi's sacrifice. They thought Jia Zhi was not worth to do that. However, the answer was hiding in the sex scene that deleted by SARFT. Jia Zhi and Mr. Yi, both of them owned a deep background. They were concealing to each other, but at the same time, they were leaning on each other. We can say their love was pure, because mostly they were connected by sex. The deleted sex scene made the movie lost its spirit. In my opinion, instead of erotic scenes, the scenes which Anli really wants to express are the solace of sex to both of them, and the fetter caused by sex. Tang Wei, who is the actress played in the role of Jia Zhi, suffered a 2-year blackout period. This is because concerned department thought Tang's performance was barefaced, and it might bring young people the ill effect. Tang was back to the screen by her efforts. We can say she was the victim by the ambiguous film rating system in China. However, there are still some movies will use unnecessary sex scenes as selling point to attract audience attention. Like The Lady of the Dynasty, Fan Bingbing's sex scene became a hot topic instead of the movie's quality. Nobody will consider this is a good phenomenon of Chinese film industry. Now I have introduced you a multiple banned movies in China. Do you still think that you have the right to choose on which movie you want to watch when you and your friends are going on movie night?